steps to stay prepared and informed during admission process. Most of us are waiting for our admissions from the schools that we applied. So this video is just to inform you what to do or what to expect during this time or during this process if you're anticipating for any feedback from the schools that you applied last year. The first point that I have is stay updated. Regularly check your application portal and your emails, because most of the schools will be requesting for additional documents during this period. And until they get such document, they don't even make decisions, because mostly they have to check all the boxes and make sure they've gotten all the documents or the requirements they are looking for before they submit your entire application to your department for them to make a final decision. The second point is that you have to familiarize yourself with all the schools that you made or you sent an application to, because if you don't do that, it might go against you one way or the other. Most of them will set up interviews with you, and if you don't get yourself acquainted with most of the things in the schools that you applied to, it's going to affect you in the long run. The third point is that you have to prepare financially. So if you apply to a particular school and you know that they are going to give you some form of scholarship or funding, but you're going to have deficit, then this is the period for you to start talking to prospective people that you think they will be able to sponsor your education. You have to do that in advance, because if you don't do that and your school comes with a funding decision, but then you have a deficit to cater for, you might find it very difficult to provide for the deficit that you'll be having. The fourth point is that explore alternative funding opportunities from your school. So don't just depend on the fact that you're going to have a deficit. So you just have to reach out to potential people who can cater for such deficit in terms of you looking for buy statement. There are ways that you can look for other funding opportunities to cater for, like the extra or the additional cost of attendance that you're going to incur. So this time is the time for you to talk to people in the school, reach out to the program coordinators to find out about external funding opportunities that can help with your study abroad journey. The fifth point is that prepare for interviews. Some program requires that you have interviews with your department and even some professors before you are given funding opportunities, or even before you are finally admitted to the department. You have to make sure this time you are going to YouTube, you are researching, you are going to Google to research, like, interview questions and all of that, to get yourself abreast with some interview questions that they might ask you. And mostly some of these interview questions are going to come from your research experience, your academic experience, and the statement of purpose, your academic CV. Those are the things that they probably ask you questions from. So you should also take note of that and prepare ahead for potential interviews. Not all departments or not all courses are going to request for interviews, but just make sure you do that ahead of time. The sixth point is that seek for emotional support from friends. During my time when I was applying, I had friends who had already come to the United States. I was always, in their DMs, talking to them, getting the experience from them, from their point of view, and it really helped me. So if you have friends, if you have people that are very close to you, you can reach out. You can be very anxious, you can feel very nervous when it comes to this whole interview process, waiting for funding opportunities, waiting for you to get like admissions from the school. So this will be a very good time for you to talk to people so that you can reduce the tension and the nervousness that is going to set in. The last point is that engage with the school community. I remember those days, I was on CU's website checking their sports activities, checking, like a whole lot of things. Just sure you are for integrating yourself with the school's activities and all of that, because it's really going to help you check what the school is about, what the school is doing, like their current activities when it comes to going for conferences. Like, just engage with the schools or your department's community activities. Also, you can also follow them on their various social media platforms, because sometimes they'll be having certain activities that might be of interest to you that you might not know. And this is the time for you to be able to do that. The more you desire for that, the more your chances of getting into this. You never know. And thank you very much for saying to me. I hope this was helpful.